Aleixo Garcia, also known in Spanish as Alejo Garcia, was a Portuguese explorer and conquistador who explored the Rio de la Plata in service to Spain, and later the Paraguay and Bolivia. He was possibly a member of the failed expedition of Juan Díaz de Solís, seeking to find a passage from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean. After reaching the mouths of the Uruguay and Paraná, it was apparent that the Rio de la Plata was not such a strait. At this point, de Solís was killed, on testimony of his crew, by cannibal Indians, and his lieutenants opted to return to Spain. On the return, some of the boats were shipwrecked off Santa Catarina in present-day Brazil. Among the 11 or 18 Spanish and Portuguese survivors was Aleixo Garcia, a Portuguese adventurer who had previously made contact with the Guarani. With them were also the Portuguese sailors Enrique Montes and Francisco Pacheco, and the Spanish sailor Melchor Ramirez. Alejo de Ledesma and Francisco Chavez were also among them. Melchor Ramirez, in turn, would assist and guide Cristóvão Jack on his voyage of exploration to Rio de la Plata and the Paraná River in 1521. Returning again to Santa Catarina, Aleixo Garcia now traveled inland, living among the Guaranis, who know of the network of trails called Pibiru that covered this part of South America. While there, he heard tales of a white king who lived to the west, ruling cities of incomparable riches and splendor. After 8 years, Garcia had gathered enough men and supplies to attempt a voyage to the land of the White King. Marching towards the west, using the trail network Pibiru, his company discovered a great waterfall. Credit for the discovery of the Iguazu Falls is usually given to the governor Alvar Núñez Cabeza de Vaca, and historian Efraim Cardozo asserts Garcia crossed the Paraná at the smaller waterfall called Saltos del Monde. During 1524 and 1525, the small group recruited an army of about 2,000 local Guarani soldiers from the vicinity of Asunción as reinforcement to invade the promising new land. They then entered the Chaco, a rough semi-desert region. Garcia was the first European to cross the Chaco and even managed to penetrate the outer defenses of the Inca Empire on the hills of the Andes, in present-day Bolivia. He was the first European to do so, accomplishing this 8 years before Francisco Pizarro. Garcia looted an impressive booty of silver. When the army of Huayna Capac arrived to challenge him, Garcia then retreated with the spoils, only to be assassinated by his Indian allies near San Pedro on the Paraguay River. The Indians, however, spared the life of his son, who was the first Paraguayan mestizo. News of this excursion into Incam territory later distracted Sebastian Cabot from his expedition to the East Indies, causing him to imprison or maroon his lieutenants and remain in the Rio de la Plata region for several years.